this demo, we are going to check if we are able to properly evaluate a Kubernetes job, whether it is able to complete successfully or not, or rather how we can check whether a Kubernetes job completes successfully. Okay, so suppose we run a Kubernetes job, and the job looks something like this. So the job basically looks something like this, as you can see. What it does is basically it counts from 1 to 40, and then just it echoes this variable 1 2 3 4 like that, waits for 1 second, and then it does it till the 40 counter is done, and then it stops. I mean, the job is completed successfully. This is a very simple example job. Okay, and you can see the image of this job is this one, and which is basically this image. I have tagged it as like this with my repo name in Docker Hub, and this particular image name, and v1 is the tag, and the Docker file is very simple. It is from Alpine image, and I've labeled my name over here, and it's basically having an entry point bin sh minus c and a cmd, and as you know that this particular cmd will be overwritten by the args of the job YAML file. So basically the job that will run is something like this. So it will be like slash bin slash sh minus c, which is the entry point. As you can see in the Docker file, this is the entry point which I configured the entry point. So entry point always comes first, and then comes the args of the pod if you are using that particular same Docker file. And then so these args will come next, and so basically the command will be executed like this. So 1 2 3, it will be counting till it reaches 40. Okay, so that is just so now I will create this job. Basically, first of all, I will check if the job is already there. So I'll delete this job if it is already created, because I want to show it to you. Yeah, okay, so the job is deleted. So now I will create the job, right? And so create it. Okay, so the job has been created, and you can see the logs of the pod. So this is the pod, and the logs you can check like this. Very simple. Okay, so it counts till 40. Okay, so now I'm coming to the next part, like how will I evaluate the job is successfully completed or not. So what I can do, one of the easiest ways that I can do, first of all I'll tell you how I can do it in a very easy way, by checking the status of the pod. The status of the pod right now is running, like it was running. Now the status of the pod is completed. So I will evaluate the status of the pod when it becomes succeeded. Then if it is succeeded, then I can come to the conclusion, oh yeah, the job has been completed successfully. So this is the wait command basically. So the status is basically like this. You can check the status, and I am capturing this particular in status variable. So if I do this thing, you can see this is succeeded. So you evaluate, you create a loop over here until status is going to succeed. You keep polling, you keep checking, and again capture the status in this variable, in the status variable. And then once the status is succeeded like this over here, then you can come to the conclusion that yes, the job is successfully completed. In this way you can check that the status of the job. Okay, so I'll just show you. So I go back to the command prompt again, and basically what I do here is I delete the job again, and then I create the job again, and now I can run the wait command over here. I'll just save this file, then I will run the wait command over here, and the wait command will basically tell me that the job is still running, so this running is basically coming from the status variable. So the status of the pod is dollar status of the pod is running, and it will evaluate it till the point succeeded is coming. It will continue, this loop will continue, and when the count is still 40, it will be done. Then you will get the message that the pod is succeed. You can see now the status of the pod now is succeeding. So this you can configure it in a pipeline, and then you can suppose you need to do a particular activity in a particular stage of a pipeline, so you can wait there till this job is completed, then you can move on to your next stage of the pipeline. So there are many use cases where you need to wait for a job to complete, and this is the way you can wait. But there is a catch. You know what? This is not a good way of coming to the conclusion that the job has been completed successfully, because what happens sometimes is the job generates a pod, and the pod due to some reason crashes or terminates, and another pod gets created, and the job creates another pod, and that pod again starts to run, and the job is created from the beginning. But now since you are capturing this pod in this way, and one time you have captured it, this status will continue to show as failed, and it will never come to the succeeded phase, because now there is another pod that is in action. This pod has failed, this status is failed, so this loop will continue, and it happened with me. So I had this requirement, and I was like, scratching my head why this is happening like this. And then I came to the conclusion this is not a correct way of finding the status of the job. So uh, what we do is we comment out this whole thing, and we rather put this uncomment this. So this is a single command which will check the status of the job, and this command, what it will happen is it will remain stuck till the job is completed, and then once it comes out of that stuck state, this command, then it gives you a particular output that we will see. We will demo it here and we will see, and then you can come to the conclusion that the job has been completed successfully. Okay, so for this we again delete the job, and then create the job. Okay, so job has been created, and I'm going to the command prompt, and I'm going to see the pod. So I'm just going to quickly query on this log. It will start counting till 40 is reached, and then I'm going to fire this command here. As you can see, it remains stuck. See, it has remained stuck till the job is completed. So till the count will be till 40. So you will see now the count reaches 40, and the job will be completed. Yes, the job is now completed, and then it comes, this particular message comes, job batch kubernetes job example condition met. Now you come to the conclusion that the, just so you can write scripts like here. So we'll get something like this: job has been completed successfully, and then you can do further activities here, and you can also go to the next stage of the pipeline. So this is a better way of checking if the job has been completed successfully or not. If you check the job template, a couple of things are to be noted here. So there are three things that you need to configure here. One is active deadline seconds. Okay, so this active deadline seconds means that the job will make sure that job continues till a particular time is exceeded. So this here is 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes. So for example, in this activity, it is like counting from 1 to 40. I know it's not going to take 5 minutes. It's going to be completed within 1 minute or so. So that's why 5 minutes is a considerably, a good amount of cushion I have given to ensure that the job completes successfully. So in according to your need, you can give an active deadline. There is something called restart policy. This makes sure that suppose something happens to the pod, or it fails or something, the job makes sure that another pod is created, and that particular pod will again start the job. Uh, in addition to this too, you also need to create back off limit, and have given it here 3. You can give 4 or 5 or according to your need. Back off limit means that suppose the pod crashes or something happens, then the job will create another pod, and then again it crashes, the job will create another pod. So 3 times it will create like this, but the fourth time it will not create. So it is the maximum number of time the job will ensure that the new pods are created in the event of a pod that it creates gets terminated or crashed or something. Okay, so these 3 things are important. And okay, so there is another important thing. So this particular command, as I told you, this is a better way of checking if the job is successful or not. But just notice this timeout is equal to 300 seconds. This is very important because there are certain activities. Say your one particular activity is like dumping a bunch of files in the S3 bucket or something, and it's fairly takes about 1 hour or so. But it can happen that the pod will crash, another pod will be generated, and that will again start dumping the files in the S3 bucket. So it's going to take some time. So if it is a 1 hour activity, you can give timeout as like 3 hours or so. So if it is 3 hours, in seconds you will give that much amount of time, and in that way you can run this command to check whether the job completes successfully or not. I hope you have enjoyed this video. So again, to wrap it up, we just checked that you create a job and it runs, but how you know that the job runs to completion properly or not, and that is by this command. This is a good way to come to the conclusion that the job ran successfully. I hope you liked this video, and if you liked, please give a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Again, I'll see you in the next video.